So today's myths are surrounding the Greek god Eros and the Hindu god Kama. It's Kama Dave. So they are both the god of love, the god of lust, the god of desire, the god of attraction. You know, anything that involves that basically love attraction and sexual attraction. And both Eros and Kama had wings and bows. And Eros, Gabriel was telling me, turned into Cupid when it went into Roman mythology. So the Cupid that we hear of is based upon these particular gods. So both of them had bows. Now Kama's bow was coated with sugar, dripping with honey. Sweetness, right? And his bow was also, I don't know how this was done unless the honey and the sugar like held the flowers on. It was also adorned ornately with beautiful flowers. Now Eros, he was the son of Aphrodite. His bow and arrows, well, his arrows, I should say, his arrows were tipped. And the arrows that were tipped with lead would strike the people where he was trying to get them not to move into that love, attraction, or lust, to make them immune from it. But the arrows dipped in gold would be the love potion. And so let's talk about Eros for a minute. So Aphrodite, you know, was the goddess of all of this, and that was his mother. And there was a mortal woman, and I think her name was Psyche or Psyche. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. Is it Psyche or Psyche?
I think it's Psyche.
Psyche. So Psyche was the most beautiful mortal woman, and all the men desired her and wanted her and were infatuated with her. In fact, the rumor of her beauty ran across the lands, and men would travel to try to be her suitor. And she had so many suitors that Aphrodite discovered this, and Aphrodite got enraged and jealous. She was like, that's my part. All the men are supposed to suit me, not her. And so she got really jealous, and so she put her son up to an assignment, and she told her son, you have got to get rid of this. So he came down, and he was supposed to get rid of all the suitors. Well, he became so infatuated with her, he forgot his task. And he was so in love with her, he wanted her, but he wanted to keep it obviously secret from his mom. So what he did was he went to Apollo, and he said, Apollo, you got to tell the oracle to tell the parents of this mortal woman who's trying to marry her off, she can only marry a beast. So the parents go to the oracle, and they're asking, and they're wanting, and they're pleading. They need the perfect man for their daughter, because their daughter was refusing every man that was wanting her because she wanted true love. And she wasn't sensing true love. She was just sensing their lust. So Eros decided he was going to be the beast. And so he changed his appearance. And the parents chose him to marry the daughter, under the condition she could never see his face. And she could only see him at night in the dark, so she couldn't see what he looked like. So they married. And as they were married, of course, she was falling in love with him because he treated her so tenderly, and she could tell it wasn't just lust, it was true love. By the way, this is supposed to be the greatest love story, or Greek love story. So what happened was, one day her sisters became like Aphrodite, enraged and jealous, because after all, this beautiful sister of theirs that they've been jealous of all along was now married to this nasty, ugly beast, but yet she was so happy. And so they pulled the sister aside and said, you don't understand, he's a monster, and he's going to kill you one night. And she believed the sisters. So she got a knife, she got a lantern, and she knew that she was going to have to kill him before he killed her. And she went in at night into their bed, and she saw the face of Eros. Now, both Eros and Kama, because they were the god of this love and attraction and lust and sexual energy, they were beautiful, they were young, they were good-looking men. And she was awestruck and smiled. And he woke up, and he got upset because this was all supposed to be secretive. And he felt betrayed by her, and he was like, "You've betrayed me. Now we can't be together. You've ruined all of this." And he flew away. When he flew away, Aphrodite discovered what happened. She was pissed. She imprisoned him in the palace. She was like, "You're not going anywhere. You're staying put." And during that time, his lover, his wife, was searching, trying to find her husband, trying to find Eros. She couldn't find him. So she went to Aphrodite. "Aphrodite, help me find him." She didn't want to help her. But she said, "Okay, I'll give you 3 tasks." And they were almost impossible tasks. She did 2 of them. The third one was to go into the underworld to get Hades to allow her to see Persephone, that he was keeping underworld, because she said Persephone has the elixir that you need. So she decided, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it. And she was able to get to Persephone. She was able to get this elixir. And the elixir, she was told, was about beauty. And Aphrodite, being a goddess, being a little bit of all-knowing, knew that this beautiful woman was going to be curious and was going to open up this elixir to see what it was. So she had lied to her and told her it was elixir of beauty. When she got the elixir, of course, that's what she did. But it ended up being a sleeping potion, and it put her to sleep. Well, Eros discovered this, and he escaped from the palace, and he went searching for Psyche. He found her, and he begged Zeus, "Zeus, help me." You know, Zeus was a player. But Zeus was looking at Eros, and he could see, wow, this is actual true love. So he decided to help Eros out. And he awoke Psyche and gave her the gift of immortality so their love could live on forever and ever and ever and ever. That's the fairy tale, right? So anyway, what I wanted to tell you about Kama, to go back to the Hindu myths. So Kama was envied by the other gods, and the other gods went to Shiva and said, "Shiva, you got to strike him down." So Shiva killed him, but then brought him back. And when he was brought back, he wasn't brought back immortal. He was brought back as a mortal son of, who was it? I wrote it down, let me see, Krishna. He was the mortal son of Krishna. So we're going to be doing some poses to sprinkle in this story, to bring the story to life. Definitely have a strap. We're going to begin with the back bend because this is all about love, and so we're going to be opening up the heart. We're going to be doing some back bends today. So take that bolster behind your back and go ahead and lower down upon it. Fan your arms to the sides with your palms turned open and gently close the eyes. Once you turn the eyelids down, check in with your body. If you need to make any adjustments, do so now. Our elixir in yoga is the breath. So drink the elixir of the breath of life. Taking a deep sip in, and then allowing it to pour out. And continue with some diaphragmatic breaths. Feel the upper body expand as you inhale. And try to keep that feeling of expansion even on the exhale. Allow that feel to elevate higher than the contraction of the lungs. And imagine with each breath that you take, the heart is blossoming and opening to the aspect of love. Keep that breath rolling. And then I want you to recite a mantra internally. Aham Prima. Aham Prima. Aham Prima. Aham Prima. Aha Prima. Which means I am divine love. I am divine love. Aham Prima. Now that you've been centering yourself, hopefully down and into your heart, please on your next in-breath, bend your knees if you haven't already, and gently roll over to your right side, which allots more space for the physical heart. When you're ready, press down into the left palm and gently begin to climb up and come to a tabletop position. Hands located underneath the shoulders, knees below or slightly behind the hips. This way, your spine can be elongated. We're going to do a little cat-cow. So as you inhale, let's take cow, bowing the back. And as you exhale, drop the tailbone, scoop the belly in, and arc high through the shoulder blades. And then continue, inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Feel free to open up that Ujjayi pranayama if you prefer that in a flow. The Ujjayi breath can be very invigorating, whereas the diaphragmatic breath can be nice and calming. So pick your preference. On your next in-breath, flatten the back. And as you exhale, push back into child's, but keep your head up. Walk or slide your hands over to the right, and then gently release the head and the neck. Open up that left side body. Open up the left side of your ribs like Venetian blinds. See if you can practice alternate lung breathing if you know what I'm referencing. Mind over matter. It's possible to send more breath into one lung. So try to do that here with the left lung. The one that's closest to the heart. The one that is slightly smaller because of its location near the heart. On your next inhale, gently lift the head up. Walk or slide the hands over to the left side of your mat and gently release. It's okay if the head hovers. Please don't strain the neck to drop the head to the floor. Beautiful. And then just breathe into your right side body. And if you know that alternate lung breath, try to send more breath, more air into that right side. So the left side of the body is considered the feminine side, and the right side is considered the solar panel or the masculine side. These stories of gods and the goddesses often have romance. And they each typically have a counterpart representing the divine masculine and divine feminine. And each of us hold both of those types of energies within. Inhale, lift up, walk your hands to the sticky mat, rock up to hands and knees again. We're going to do a little pranayama with movement. So we're going to start with puppy pose. Now puppy pose, you're angling your arms out in front of you, and your ears are lined up in between the upper arm bones. On your out breath, we're going to do a cleansing breath with this, but on the out breath, go ahead and do the mechanics with me. Sink down through your shoulders and chest and chin. And this is called melting heart or anahatasana. All right, inhale, you're lifting to puppy, pulling in through the belly, the low ribs, the armpits, and then exhale. Breathe it out and down. Breathe it in and up, puppy. Breathe it out and down, anahatasana. One more. Inhale, lift up, slide your hands in, curl the toes under, launch into Adho Mukha Svanasana. When you come into your first downward facing dog for this practice, bend your left knee, sink the right heel down. And now bend your right knee, sink the left heel down. So basically you're just walking the dog here. Switching from one side to the other, but going at a relatively slow pace. And then go ahead and start to step it forward to the top of the mat. And I think your straps are at the top of your mat. So go ahead, while you're here in this forward fold, unroll it, fold it in half, and then once you have that together, bow over. Take a yin form of this position, meaning that the knees have a fairly generous bend, not too deep. And if your hands touch the floor, flip them upside down and just let your head descend. So the crown of the head facing the earth. Sits bones reaching up towards the sky. And just take a few deep breaths. We're going to be doing the C Surya Namaskara today. So now go ahead and take a hold of your strap. Bend your knees pretty deep this time. Reach the arms in front of you, holding that strap. Power into your legs to come up to stand tall, lifting the arms straight up overhead. Now on your exhalation, you're going to bend the arms, bringing it just behind your head. As you do that, you're going to roll your thighs in. You're going to lift through the floating ribs. You're going to lean your head back, and then you're slowly going to lift and back up the arms. So you're creating a standing backward bend. Now the C Surya Namaskaras start with the standing backward bend. So I wanted this to be fairly dynamic at the start. And then on your exhalation, gently come back with a good posture. Bring the arms down, and you can let the strap go. And then bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Take a gentle back bend, nothing too fierce. Exhale, palms together, and slowly descend. On your next inhale, let's step the left foot back and drop the back knee and untuck the back toes. We're going to be coming up and down, but as we do this, I want you to really push into that right foot so it's firing into your hamstrings and lifting the hips a little bit so you're not dragging the hips. As you inhale, press through the right foot. Circle the arms up to Anjaneyasana. And then exhale, it's okay to sink the hips as the arms lower, all right? Inhale, pull up to the pelvic floor, up to the heart center, up to the fingertips. And exhale, release. One more. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, take the hands down. Curl the back toes under, step it into downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, just be here a moment so that we're not rushing the practice and really have a true experience of being here. Relating to this pose, maybe gaining a new perspective. On your next out breath, we're going to drop the knees, chest, chin. So this is called Ashtanga Pranayama. Now, if you're just here and try to drop, the arms are going to be in the way. So what we do is we shift the whole upper body forward past the hands so that as we create those little grasshopper legs alongside our ribs with our arms, the hips stay in the air. And then untuck the toes, pour through, lift the heart up, Bhujangasana. So here the hips and pelvis is actually on the floor. The legs lengthen back. And as you exhale, release. Two more. Inhale, roll up, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, push up table. Curl the toes, take downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, left foot steps to the front. If that's difficult for you, use your hand to help. And then drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. Inhale, power into that left foot to climb up to higher ground. And then exhale, release. And it's okay to sink at that point. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Back toes curl. You're stepping to the front. Releasing over. Inhale all the way up to the top. Arch back. Aham, Prima. I am divine love. Exhale, hands together. And gently fold again from the hips. When you release over the lower body, we're going to inhale, step the left foot back. Exhale to send the back knee, shin, and foot. Once here, inhale, bringing it up. Exhale, take the left hand back, grab the back thigh, puff up the chest, and gaze up. Bring the hands down. Inhale, bring the arms up, but hands are positioned in Anjali Mudra. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, neutral back. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, open up the gates of your heart. Aham, Prima. Now, hands down. Back toes curl, step down dog. Lengthen and strengthen the muscles. Remember the elixir. It's not the sleeping potion. Think of it as being the love potion. Feed that love and light to your heart, to yourself, to the world. Exhale, drop to knees. Remember to shift forward, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranayama. Inhale, slip it through to the belly. This time we're taking the hands to the sides, flying the arms up like the neck wings of a king cobra. And inhale, coming up. Open the throat maybe. And then exhale, wave down. Not all the way down, just a portion. Inhale up. Exhale, just a portion of the way down. Last one, inhale. Pause at the top. If this is too much, Sphinx, or stay lower. Absolutely. Exhale, fold. Slide the hands back up underneath the shoulders. Inhale, push up table. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe into your back. Breathe into the back side of your heart. Drop the shield of protection. And imagine the gold-tipped arrow is plucking your heart. The one that helps you to fall madly in love. Fall madly in love with your life. Inhale, left foot steps forward. Back knee spills down, untuck the back toes. Coming up. This time the right arm hangs back. Lean back to your range where you can still comfortably and openly breathe. Aham Prima. I am divine love. Hands down a moment. And then we're going to come right back up. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. Inhale, gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to hearts. 2 more. Use the breath. Final one. Hands down. Back toes curl, step it through, and spill over. Close the eyes. Recite the mantra. Aham Prima. Inhale, root down to rise up. We're going to do 1 more of these, arching back. Hands to heart. As you lower. Palms stay together until you release the hands, head and neck. On your next in-breath, left foot's going to step back. Back knee's going to drop down, but no more back bends in this flow. What we're going to do is push down through the right foot and lift the arms in front of the chest. Now my back foot, I was born major pigeon-toed, and I've corrected it for the most part with yoga, but it shows up in postures like this. So if your foot's flopping out to the side, not that you're pigeon-toed, try to come to the top of the foot and stretch the toes back towards the wall behind you. All right, curl your fingers in. You're going to draw back like you're pulling a bow. Place the thumb to the crown of your head. Now look at your right thumbnail. And this is a balancing pose. You're slowly going to twist and rotate around to the right. Keep your eyes focused on that one spot. And then affirm, I am focused on sending my love out into the world. Even though we're not the god or the goddess of love, necessarily from these stories, we can embody that and we can share that. Exhale, unwind. Release the hands. Back toes tucked, step it into down dog. And breathe. On your next exhale, knees touch chin, Ashtanga Pranayama. Inhale, slither through. But hands below the shoulder, come down to your brow. Lift and lengthen each leg. And once you have the legs engaged, we're going to do what's called a dancing cobra. So, oh, by the way, I wanted to bring in the dancing cobra because the chant to Kama in the Indian tradition, dancers in India or couples in India that want to keep their love attraction with their mate will chant the mantra for Kama. So start to roll the shoulders back and slowly lift and slowly drop. There's really no right or wrong. You're just kind of moving and slithering your upper body. It's freestyle expression. Just think of a snake. Good. And this is where we sing da na 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 na. All right, come back down to the breath. Inhale, push up. Exhaling, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Draw in through your core. Draw in through your base ribs. Try not to drag into the shoulders. We don't want our down dog to be like Anahatasana. We want it to be more like puppy pose. On your next in-breath, left foot steps to the front. Back knee sinks down. Get the foot flat. Get the knee aligned over the ankle. Get your back toes untucked. And bring the arms up. And so instead of being here, we're pulling up through the pelvic floor. And that helps when you drop into that left foot and engage those left hamstrings. Fingers curl in. Pull back the bow. Your Cupid bow, right thumb to the crown. Gaze at your left thumbnail. And twist and wind to the left. So imagine you are that particular God and you see your person, the love you want to have forever and ever and ever, and imagine you're striking their heart. I am focused on sending my love out into the world. Exhale and wind. Bring the hands down. Step it to the top of the mat and fold down. Be here and breathe here. Let the forward fold be a nice counter position for some of the back bends that we've been performing today. On your next inhale, circle it up. Crank it back. Exhale, hands to heart. Now close the eyes. Let your thumbs come to the top of the sternum. If your heart is sped up, slow that beat down through the power of the breath. Gaze in and up to your mind's eye. Affirming, aham, prima. Aham, prima. Aham, prima. And then relax the arms down. All right, I'm going to turn my back to you so I don't confuse you. So this particular pose I'd only seen in Indian dance before, and I was researching something a week or two ago and discovered it's actually considered a yoga pose as well. All right, so we're going to be stepping. We're standing strong on the left leg, but the right foot is going to cross over. You're going to turn that heel out towards the windows, and you're going to sway into your left hip. You're going to lean the arms out to the right, and you're going to pretend you're playing the flute, and this represents Krishna. Remember, Kama, once he was killed off, was given a little grace, was given life again, but as the mortal son of Krishna. All right, gently bring the hip back into alignment, relax the arms, and uncross. Simple, but it's a cool pose. All right, stand strong in your right leg. Take the left foot over, turn the heel out. Lean or sashay into that right hip, bring the hands off to the left side, Pretend you're playing the flute. So Krishna is often depicted playing the flute. And he's often depicted in a very similar pose to what we're doing. And then gently release and ground the left foot. All right, we're going to do dancing Shiva. Shiva also had a bow. And what we're doing is bowing the back here, and it's a balancing position. So get strong in your left leg and foot. Line up kind of Tadasana style. And you're picking up your right foot and catching it with your right hand. All right, so already this is a balancing pose. If you need to just stay here, please do. Otherwise, you can sail the left arm up. You can hinge forward from the hip. You can open up the chest and push the foot back into the hand. And then inhale up, exhale, release. Whew, that was difficult this morning. Landing line, so think about a landing line, kind of unraveling from the hip, going down through the outer leg into the outer ankle. Same thing from the inside of the hip through the inseam of the leg into the inner part of your heel. Okay, once you have that, lift your left foot and catch it. Again, if you need to stay here, this works. If you need a wall, go close to a wall and hold on. Otherwise, lift the right arm, hinge, create a little back bend. Push the foot into the hand, open up the chest, set that gaze, and breathe. Inhale up, exhale down. It's so amazing how one side's always better. Why is that? Okay, I know why. You don't have to answer it. Bring the hands to the heart again. The feet are side by side and rooting down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, bring the hands in front, palms open, lift the heels, and start to come to toe balance. Not many snap, crackle, pops this morning. Hands to heart. Let's open up the feet. Try to maintain some good posture. And let's slowly bring it on down. All right, straighten out your legs and then bend the right knee. You can do this one of two ways, because I know some people don't like touching toes. We had one in our training class. If you want to tag the big toe with the peace mudra, the arm is on the inside of the knee like this. If you prefer taking it more towards the pinky toe side of the foot, when you lift the knee, you want to elevate the elbow so that the knee has room to move back. So either way, I'm going to do the toe one. Flex your left ankle, lift the right foot, pull it back. This is a hip opener, but notice if you slouch, draw up through your core, send your left arm out. This is pulling the bow pose. And there's another version. So take your left hand to the foot, cross that leg in front of your chest, and now release your right hand. Another variation, pulling the bow pose. All right, now take your hand hold to the knee and foot, or you can hook the arms under the calf, or you can cradle the arms like this around the foot and the knee. Lift the crown of your head up, hug this leg closer to the chest, and get that squeeze. You can do a little rocking, and you can go side to side like a little twist. You can go up and down. There's different ways to do it. And then release. All right, bend your left knee, tag the big toe, or hold the outside of the foot. Just remember you want room for that knee to move back. Pulling the bow pose, round one. Right hand to the foot, cross it over, free up your left, pulling the bow pose, second form. And then hand hold, hooking, or cradle. Pick what's best for you and your body and what you're experiencing in your hip. Lift the crown, hug it in, create a little movements back and forth. And release. All right, we're gonna separate our feet. So I just remembered, it wasn't the bow of Kamas that had the flowers, it was the arrows that had the flowers. Yeah. We're gonna lift. Okay, it looks like this. The arm goes to the inside and hooks up underneath the calf, similar to what I showed you, but different, because it's off to the side. And we balance on our seat and do both sides. So bring your middle finger to join your thumb. This is the Shuni Mudra for patience. And balancing poses require patience. Lift the chest up. Flex the feet. Gaze at one spot. This is blossoming lotus. So a lot of the, or actually probably all of the Hindu gods and goddesses, there's usually a lotus as part of the symbology. And the lotus represents so many beautiful things: transformation, fertility, wholeness. And then bring the soles of the feet, excuse me, together and gently fold over your lap, over your feet. Lift your knees. So I was thinking about the potential of taking you into bow pose, but that's really deep, you know? It's I don't feel like doing it on retreat. So we're not gonna do it. We're gonna do something else instead. We're gonna take the bolster under the low back. Actually, move it up a little bit towards that space behind your heart. I think this would be better. I can play around with it, okay? See what works for you. And then spread out the arms and let your head fall to the other side. So again, that bolster is right up underneath the area of your back that lifts your chest, that opens your heart. So it's like a very gentle, restorative fish pose. Better?
How does that roll? It should be a little lower, but if that's struggling your shoulders, you can lay your head back if it feels good. And you don't have to worry about spreading the arms.
All right, do your mantra. Reciting it over in your mind, because mantra is medicine for the mind. Aham, prima. Aham, prima. Aham, prima. Aham. Prima. I'm going to take you into a different pose for Shavasana. So if you would please inhale, bend the knees. Roll away to one side or the other. And come up to sit. So I tested this out while you were in that pose because I wasn't sure if this was going to hold up because they're different props than what I'm used to. Be cautious because these blocks are thinner. And place that bolster on top. And what you'll do is elevate the legs. Again, be careful. And roll back. So I want you to notice the whole idea. Art, if you bring, you could do that, or bring the blocks closer. So it's not. Oh, I'm sorry. I used your block, didn't I? I'm sorry. Okay. Bring them a little closer, Rob, because it may collapse if they're too wide. Yeah. So with your legs propped up in this manner, I want you to notice the experience in your back. So we were doing a lot of heart opening poses. We were doing quite a few back bends. So notice how this is a nice counter position. Feel how you're lengthening the lumbar, the low back, and allow your ribs to rest on the ground. Find comfort with your arms, and the hands can be on or off the body. I'm going to give you some silence. And I want you to just be with that elixir, the elixir of life, the breath of life. And if you want to just focus on witnessing the breath, that could be the technique. If you prefer the mantra aham prima, this could also be your technique. So rest and renew. And begin to breathe in a diaphragmatic way. On your next out breath, hug the knees in. And be here for several breaths. And remember, just a little is enough. You don't have to have the bear hug. You want the sacrum to stay grounded. And then slowly roll away to one side of your body. And then make your way to a comfortable seat. However that translates to you, it doesn't have to look like mine. Close the eyes. And let your palms rest facing downward. This is more of a grounding position for the hands and the seat. And I want you to focus on the foundation of your body. And say internally, my foundation is love. And then place your left hand over your heart and your right hand on top of that with your thumbs touching, so it looks like little wings. Cupid wings. Bring that love home to yourself, because we cannot give away what we do not have inside. Think of the Beatles tune. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. The love that goes beyond lust. The love that goes beyond carnal desires. To prayer position at your heart. And bow your head humbly that direction. May we all speak and act from a place of love. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thanks you guys for showing up this morning. If you don't mind, roll up the strap, because, man, they come in and set everything up for us, and it's a little karma yoga. We're thankful for them setting up the room every day, and we can put a little bit back to save them the trouble. I think the eye bag and the strap go on the blocks, blanket, washcloth on the bolster.